Good morning, and it's that time again. It's the time for the morning bass lesson and a morning drink. This time I'm having a flat white, or, well, that's the posh word for milky coffee, because I live in London. Everything's got to have a special cool word for it. Okay, so yeah, so let's. I'm gonna give. Look, first of all, I'm gonna just play some stuff, and this is gonna give you some inspiration just to keep going on this learning path that we're on. Okay, so here's just a demonstration of what we can do. So all of that stuff that I'm playing now, I'm adding a few extra notes in there, but basically it's what we were going over last week, the 251. I wasn't actually playing it in time. I was just kind of playing over that form, though. You know, this form. Okay. Now you could play that in any style. You could go. You know, power chords. You know, you could play a metal song. You know. Yeah. You could play like a Lev 42 style version of it. Okay, something like. Okay, so you know it's really open to your artistic license. You know, it's up to you what kind of style you play. Oh yeah, let's talk about the bass. So this is Sid Vicious's X bass. No, I'm joking. But this is my main bass of my whole main bass career, if you can call that bass playing I did a career. Yeah, I did it for a long time, and I'd call myself a professional bass player. I was a full-time bass player. Not sure if I was a professional one though, but because I wasn't earning much money out of it. But anyway, this is the bass guitar that I used for around 20 years, you know. And it's a Yamaha TRB. It's a Japanese. They call it the Mark One model. All made in Japan. Swan Patch body, Brazilian rosewood neck, quarter sawn maple neck. Sorry, I was talking about the Brazilian rosewood fingerboard there, rather. But it's a beautiful bass. Alnico pickups, amazing sounding pickups. Unfortunately, the preamp died. It's been gutted out the electronics, but apart from that, it all works great. You know, I don't bring it out that much anymore, but I'll never sell this. I actually bought it for £180 off eBay over 20 years ago, obviously, and yeah, and it's a bit weathered in, but you can see when I got it, it was brand, you know, like new condition, but it's just years of playing. Yeah, and that's this is my main bass. So you don't have to spend a lot of money to get an amazing instrument, and this goes up against a very expensive basses. Yeah, so you just have to kind of do a bit of research, find out what the best cheap basses are. Generally speaking, they're going to be made in Japan because the quality is excellent in Japan. But yeah, that's a bit of a technical stuff about the bass. So let's get back to here. So you just heard me play a demonstration of 251. So I just wanted to give you some inspiration and just say, we're learning this really boring stuff, or so it seems. But what you can do with it is incredible. But you have to learn these shapes, these patterns on the fretboard. This is harmony. It's called harmony. Without this, we can't play that stuff. So we've got to learn this stuff first. Okay. Now you might not want to go and play all that jazzy stuff, fusiony stuff. You might want to play, just some really good, just improve your dexterity on the instrument. Get out of playing those tried and tested riffs. Again, you don't have to go all the way, but I'm just giving you the groundwork so that if you decide to go all the way or just go a bit further, you've got the facility there and you've got the option there to do that. Okay, so let's crack on. So that 2-5-1. Let's go over that again. So let's do the position we did last week. So A on the E string with the first finger, 5th fret. Okay, so the second dot. Then you go on your 3rd finger to play the B on the E string, and then 4th finger, play the C. That's the 8th fret on the E string. And then we play on the A string, we play the D, which is the 5th fret with the first finger. Then we play the E with the 3rd finger, still on the A string, on the 7th fret. Then 8th fret, with the little finger, we play the F, still on the A string. Now we change strings now. First finger on the D string, that plays a G. Now this is, remember, so that's the 5th fret. Now we're going to go onto the 7th fret, and we're going to go use the little finger. Do you remember economy? So we're going to get this set up, the fingers to be in a great position to hit this B on the G string. So that's the A, octave A on the D string, 7th fret, little finger. Now we're going to shift 1 fret back down towards the headstock with the first finger on the G string on the 4th fret and play that B. Second finger on the G string, 5th fret, play that C, and then we're going to play the high D, the octave D, the little finger on the G string on the 7th fret. So we have this. Remember, always try and keep your thumb and your middle finger in the same position. Yeah, so that's good. So let's do that again. Now let's do the 2-5-1. So we start on the D, on the A. We're playing the same pattern, the same position, but we're leaving the E string off. So we play D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. And then we go to the G, so we're playing in the G position here. We learned a few lessons back. So we just played the first 3 strings up to the octave G, and then we play the C. We play it twice. So it sounds like this. Nice. So, okay, we get that under our fingers. Yeah, let's just get that under our fingers, and then you can improvise. Remember, we did some chords. So again, artistic license, add a few extra notes in there. We'll go over all that stuff further on in the course. We're starting from the beginning and we're going to Z. Start from A, all the letters of the alphabet, and we're going to finish at Z, which means you'll be able to play at least as good as me, probably better. So we'll have a toast for that. Okay, so we've got that position. Let's go now to the next position. So this is a new position, and this really is our last position. Although we're going to go right up the neck here, we're going to go right up the fingerboard here. This is the last kind of new position, if you like, because the rest of it is just repeating itself. So you've got to get your head around this. These are shapes that you can move around the fretboard. So when I play that, this A, we could play it up here if we change it. Say if we were we're here and we want to play the octave. Well, work out what the high A is on this here. This is the octave. So we've got 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. You know, so you can see, because this bass is a bit old and it's a bit smashed up, kind of, it needs a few bit of work done to it. So you can see there that I can just shift this shape around, it still works. I can actually just shift it to here and play a C. So if I was in the key of C minor, that would work. But we're jumping ahead a bit there. So let's just keep it simple. So just remember that shape. Learn these shapes. This one, the G shape, the F, and you can learn the E as well. So let's like I said, we're going to learn this last shape. So we're going to start on the B here, and this here is the 7th fret on the E string. I'm going to play that with the first finger. We play the second finger. We're playing the C there. Okay, so we're going 1 fret up, which is the 8th fret, and then we go into the 10th fret, yeah, which is a D, the little finger. So we get this. Okay. Now we're going to go 1 string up to the A string, and we're going to play the E here with the first finger. So this is on the 7th fret on the A string. And then we play second finger with the next note up, okay, which is the F. And then we play with the little finger a whole step. That's a whole step. You know when you play, you miss a note, you miss a fret. That's called a whole step. So we play a whole step up and we play a G. So I'm just gonna. Sometimes, like I said, I'll introduce concepts just to get it in your head, plant the seed there. But I'm not going to go in too much into detail. But I just want you to be familiar with that term whole step. Okay, but we're not going to go that on that level now. So let's do that again. So we're on the A string, 7th fret, playing the E, F, G, E, F, whole step. This is a half step. See, half step. That's a whole step because we go 1 whole step. Okay, that's all you need to know for now. Okay, then we're going to go to the D string and we're going to play the octave A. Okay, octave A. So we're on the 7th fret. Now third, another whole step there. Play a whole step. So not a half step, not the note next to it, but the next one along. Okay, which is a B. And then we play the 4th finger C. So we got A, B, C. So let's do that again. So E string, so we play B, C, D. So that's the 7, 8, 10 fret. Then we play on the A string, E, F, G. So that's 7, 8, 10. And then we play on the D string, A, B, C. Let's play that again. Right, now you're gonna, if some of you might have already realised a minute, hang on a minute, Joe, you've already taught us this shape. Yeah, I have, it's here. So if you do the G position, but you start on the A string with your first finger on the B, so that's the position here, isn't it? Well, just start on the A string with your B. That's the same. It's exactly the same because this is a C and this is a C. Okay. Now some of you people will be going, "Oh look, Joe, we know this," but there are some people that don't know this. So I just want to make sure we're all on the same page here. But also that pattern is the same. Think of it visually. That's a pattern. Imagine those dots. Imagine where you put your finger. There's a dot. So remember remember that pattern. I actually posted a comment of a fingerboard fretboard diagram of all of the shapes on the neck. So visualize that. And this is the C major pattern. Do you remember C? We said C major. And then let's just go up to the. So we've done this. So B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And then we're going to just finish off now. We're going to play on the G string. We're going to play the D, E, F. So that's the 7th fret, 9th fret, 10th fret. So that's and then the 1st, 3rd, and 4th fingers. So the whole thing sounds like this. Okay, so that's great. So now you've got two options. Let's go back to the 2-5-1 so we can play. We can play here. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to stop there because I've been waffling on for a bit, and I don't want to offload too much stuff on you. So get that down and just start from the beginning again. Remember, I'm using my 3rd and 4th finger, but I'm also using my 1st and 2nd fingers, depending on what I'm doing. If sometimes it's faster to just use the 1st and 2nd fingers. Again, I explained that on the first lesson, I got these techniques from playing the double bass. So my playing's a little bit unorthodox because I'm taking a bit of double bass playing and I'm putting it into the bass guitar, and I'm taking the best bits from double bass technique, the small techniques of Venetian method, and I'm putting it into the bass guitar, But yeah, and then. Because what I find out as well, a lot of bass guitarists, they never play down this side. I mean, when they're soloing or playing fast, they never play down this end of the neck because it's actually easier to play around this end. But this end here, you've really got to work at this end. It's hard work. So that's why you've got to have these kind of efficient finger positions. Okay, so that's it. So yeah, have fun with that, guys. Have a good day at work. Maybe you're going to do this in the morning, lunchtime, or the evening. Also, I'm just going to do a pitch for Brooksy's bass. I'm going to leave a link for that in the comments. That's live streaming tonight. I think around 9 o'clock. But I think I'll put the time in the comment. Okay. So bye for now. Thank you.